Hey guys, so I am starting my full series on Pickle, and I kind of screwed up. I totally forgot that I was going to do a series with Pickle, so I did do a layer already on her head. Um, it was very light. Since I'm going to end up doing a second layer, I'm just going to do that layer again. I did not touch her limbs yet, or his limbs. I think he looks like a boy to me, I bet. Who knows when he's done being painted. So his limbs are totally untouched, so I'll do the full on that. And if you guys just want to see, I mean, how amazing are these hands? Like, I love this kit so much. I did a box opening of this kit, so I'm not sure if you guys saw that or not. But he's definitely not as big as I thought he was going to be. I was really dreading, I bought 3 kits and I was like, oh my god, it's going to take me the whole year to root these heads. They're really not that big at all. Um, I can show you the comparison. This is Quimby, who's 18 inches. This is Pickle, who's supposed to be 25 inches. So really not a big difference at all. And I will be doing some more videos soon of Quimby too. I'm gonna finish this Quimby up. So I'll do some details of some fine details videos there for you. Okay, so this is my vein mix. I did have some comments on my hyperlapse video. People were like, oh my god, are you painting straight out of the jar? This is not Odie Bear. It's all right. Sorry, Odin is having a whiny day. His dad's outside doing some work and he wants to be out there. But so this is not straight paint. This is my own mix that I put in this jar. It is phthalo blue. I believe it is 06 with just a little touch of yellow, some thinning medium, and a few drops of thinner. And I'm just going to put a couple more drops in here, which I do pretty much every time I paint with it. So over the years it's gotten a little bit lighter, but when it starts getting too light, I'll add more paint mix to it. And I don't have like an exact mix for this. I just did like a little, a little toothpick thing of the blue. I added a couple touches of yellow with my brush until it looked right to me, and then I just thinned it to the level that I was happy with. And just grab a wedge here. So I'm not going to do all of the veins on the head. I don't know if I am going to darken these ones up that you can just see slightly through the hair. And a little bit, some of these are dark enough, some are a little too light, so I will darken some but not all. So I am going to darken, oh my god, okay, that was bad news. Always check your brushes first. I totally thought that I had already cleaned my brushes that were right here, and clearly I did not. I did capillaries with this brush last, so it had straight paint on it. Okay, that was no bueno. We'll use this brush. This is my cleaning wheel, even though it looks red. I need to clean these out soon, but they've been doing so well I haven't. And I'm gonna get a new wedge since this has like a dark red streak on it. I don't want to inadvertently accidentally get red anywhere else. Check my hands really quick. All right, let's try this again. And I'm just gonna pounce that out. That looks good. I'm going to darken this just a touch here. And I know I've said this in other videos, but if you haven't watched them, you really want to pounce out your ends. You don't want to be able to see like a straight line of when they start or when they stop. And we'll do that one just a little bit more. And this one here just a little bit more as well. And then with the head I can go like quite a bit more pronounced. Like he will be rooted, and when I want it more pronounced, I pretty much just let it sit a little bit longer before pouncing it. And I don't pounce it as hard. You are okay, Odie Bear. You're okay. He's gonna come back in here in just a minute, don't you worry. I feel like I should not even be doing this right now. If you guys could see like just a couple inches behind the camera right here. He has like his head in my lap while I'm trying to do this. Okay, so the corner of the eyes are dark enough for me. I'm just gonna do just a little bit on this side, and I'll go a little bit more blue on the eyelids here and in the eyelid crease. And these are blue enough as well. I might touch these up as I go, but for right now they are good. Unfortunately, the capillaries are good, so I don't want to darken the capillaries. I can't remember what other videos I've done capillaries in, but I have done capillaries in other videos. But I will just try to show you guys what I did with capillaries on the eyelids here, inside there on the ears. But I really don't want to go too dark with those. And I do have, this is some burnt umber mixed with a touch of blue, and I'm just gonna hit creases and the inside of the nose with this mix. And inside the ears here. Odie Bear, it's okay, sweetheart. Where's your sister? Go get your sister. That will work for about 10 seconds probably. I did do an update with Odin on my Facebook page on Tuesday. He's doing about the same. You know, he's having some like loud breathing issues and stuff, but overall, like, his spirits have been really good. Like, he's been playing a lot, he's been eating a lot. He did lose a ton of weight, but I doubled his dose on his muscle weight gainer supplement, And I feel like that is helping. Before it was like every single day I looked at him and I could visibly see how much thinner he was than the day before. And the last few days, I feel like he looks like he's holding steady, so that makes me very happy. I don't know why I put this away. I'm kind of scattered today. This might not be the best day for this. So, like, dogs are going crazy and scatterbrained, but I promise, guys, the next ones I will be more with it. Sorry about that. I just had a tiny hair on the edge of my brush that I didn't want to get onto anything. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna do some shading right here in the center of the palm. And we'll go just a touch under. Also gonna do some veining here on the hand, and to do that I pretty much just open my hand and kind of try to copy where I can see dark visible veins. And I just very, very lightly pounce those ones. And I'm gonna do a little blue shade just right in that crease where these veins would start. Then we'll go ahead and this baby is pretty rolly, so I don't know that it in real life it would have a ton of visible veins, but I still want to do them lightly in areas that there should be veining, and trust that as I go on with my layers it's gonna look how it should. And this has some really great sculpting. Nikki is amazing with this type of sculpting. Like, you can see little raises where you would expect like veins or ligaments to be. She is just so talented. She is one of my favorite sculptors in the world. And I've been waiting for Pickle for like so long. I feel like it was been over a year. I don't know if it truly has been, but I remember I follow her on Facebook and Instagram. I remember seeing her first work in progress pictures of Pickle, and I knew from like the very beginning when he barely had a face that I just had to paint him. And so this one, if you could see, I put it, it's a little bit thicker, so I just take the edge of my sponge there and just thin it up a bit. I'm gonna do some creases on some veins on the fingers here, where I can see there are little lines where you would likely see one. And on that finger, I don't know if everyone's the same. My veins are like really visible on like everywhere I could see them. And then I'm just gonna do a little blue here in the corner where some veins would be there. This is actually my preferred brush for creases here, so I just rinse that out. And with my burnt umber blue mix, I'm just doing like a really light first creasing. And you can crease obviously with whatever color you want. Some people use like purple or red. I usually hit them with some of those colors as I go. But for like my higher end babies, like if I'm doing a budget baby like on Maria for instance, like I think I'll do darker like eyelid purple and then a few other colors on it so that they kind of stand out more because I'm doing less detailed work. On sculpts like this where he's gonna be an expensive baby, he's gonna be a high-end baby, I do my creasing a bit differently. I do more burnt umbers because I want the creasing to look how they would. Like in right there, that is not purple, it is not bright red, it is not blue. It is shadow, it has some undertones of purple and red, but it is mostly brown. So I really try to mimic that just for realism. And I will do a lot more crease layers too. They're going to be darker colors, but a lighter concentration so that it takes more. I don't want them to look dirty at all or spotty or anything. Like on these, you can pretty much, I know this other hand is shaped differently, but you can barely tell that I did anything on it. But that is the way that I want it. I'm just going to do it really slowly and build them up and try to get it to look as natural as possible. This baby reminds me of like the Marshmallow Man with these like crazy rolls. It's insane. Or is it the Michelin Man maybe? That has like the rolly arms and legs like that. And I've been really happy with this vinyl so far. So far I have not noticed any issues. Of course, I've only baked the head so far, and we all know how it goes when after you start a kit, black specks, stuff like that can start coming up. But so far everything has just looked really good. So I am going to be videoing my entire paint process, and I guess I am going to call this a tutorial because I'm going to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing, but I just want, most of you will know this, but I just want to kind of remind like my non-regular viewers, I guess, this is not a paid tutorial. I'm doing this like on my own time. These are difficult to do. They makes painting take much longer than it would normally take me. So I am not I'm not going to have like a supply list, a list of every single color I use and how to mix it. It would just be way too much for me. Um, you know, when I'm using colors, I will tell you what they are if they're colors that I mixed already, but I use hundreds of colors. Like if you haven't seen me paint before, you will notice I'll use this blue for a layer. I'll add some other stuff to it. I'll thin it down. I'll do it. So, you know, I use so many variations of the same colors. It would be an impossible task for me to list every single color and variation and how I mix it. Um, like this, I did do, Maria was more of a beginner tutorial. Um, this one is just my regular painting, and so it's, you know, I want to say be happy with what you get. No, but you know, like I said, I am going to try to explain some stuff as I'm doing it. But on this one, I'm really assuming that people already know how to paint and they have kind of set colors that they use. They know what colors they want to use to get, you know, certain, if they want a different skin tone, things like that. So this is just more me just showing you kind of how I paint. But that being said, if you guys have questions when you're watching my video, like if you didn't catch something, if you're painting along, I'd love to see your progress. If you have questions, definitely you can message me. I always put like my Facebook and stuff in the description, or you can just comment on the video with a question, and I am more than happy to like help within reason. I do have like a lot going on right now with Odin. We're also in like a major house renovation project, so my pace on this is going to be possibly, well, I guess it could go either way. It might be faster than normal because I'm so stressed out that I like have to get my mind off of things, or it could be slower because I have stuff going on and don't have time. But I will definitely try to get to your questions and answer them to the best of my ability. I will say, for those that watched Maria and then are also watching this, one big difference with Maria, she was just kind of like a regular baby. This baby is going to be a lot more expensive. On Maria, I did like how I do with most of my like $800 to $1,200 babies. I know I said, you know, if my creases or something are kind of messed up, if something's messed up, I don't really pay too much attention to it with the first couple layers. That is true with most of my babies. But when I'm going into painting a baby, knowing that I'm going to be making it higher end, that is not the case. I 100% want to pay attention to everything from the very first layer and, you know, fix anything that does not look 100% right. Like when you're selling babies at a much higher price point, there's a certain quality of work that is expected, and I really try my best to make sure that that I meet those expectations. Gosh, I wish you guys could see details. Like here, there are little tiny lines. Like you can really see, I mean, I can really see like exactly where a vein should be. Like this, I'm just so impressed with Nikki's sculpting on this one. I mean, I like a lot of her other babies too. I loved Delilah so much. But I have to say, so far, this, I feel like is the highest quality of sculpting that I have seen from her ever. Like on the details, they are just phenomenal. Alright, these fat legs here. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is the creases in the back of the legs. Like they have more crease than bend. Like if they were bent more, I feel like these high creases would come out. But those can be tricky to paint and make look good. Like you really don't want to emphasize the very ends too much. And I hope that you guys do share yours with me, especially if you are painting a pickle. I've been really amazed. I'm not the fastest painter. Like I paint a baby in about 2 weeks and then another 2 weeks to root. If I'm using alpaca, that will go to 4 weeks. So like it can take me up to 6 to 8 weeks. I can do a baby in 4 weeks, but I have already seen, like I just got my pickle kits, and I have already seen so many completely finished rooted pickles, and it's pretty amazing to see like the variations, like just how different this sculpt is looking based on the artist that's painting it. So if you guys are painting, definitely show me. I'd love to see. Odie bear. I swear it could only be worse right now if my husband was up on a ladder. Odin like loses it if anyone goes on a ladder. Like he's such a nanny dog. Like he really worries if he thinks someone's in a situation where they could get hurt. Odin. Sorry about that, guys. Odin, please get out of there, sweetheart. And so this first layer, I'm hitting every crease. For future layers, I won't be hitting these really shallow ones though. But I do want to get a good initial layer on them. Oh my gosh, now May's starting to. Thank God I'm almost done. I'm so sorry, you guys. I knew it was probably a bad idea to start this today, but I really wanted to. I was like, oh, it's perfect, you know, a perfect day to do this. I have nothing else going on today. I'm like in the house alone and everything, but it is not a good day for it. So that was just a little bit too thick. And these really fine veins here that I do want to show through, I'm just barely pressing them. I don't want to smear them. I don't want to mess them up. the outside is more just one line, kind of a shading more type of line than a really thin detailed creasing. And again, just some blue shading in between the toes there at the base of the toes where the skin would be a little bit thinner and all of the veins would meet up there. We'll do a little vein on the outside big toe and another one on the outside of the small toe there, and some creasing there, and some right here under that ankle bone where it would be thinner, and behind the thigh where there would be visible veins there. Same thing with this area here, and this is the area where at different angles I can really see clearly like exactly where a vein should go. Like it's almost like in her clay version she like sculpted them in. I know this isn't a home show or anything, but I'm going to be sharing some pictures on Facebook of before and afters. We bought our house like 2 years ago now. It is a major fixer-upper. Like we have been living in this like hellhole basically for 2 years, like trying to save enough money. We had to do so much work, so we had to pay back a bunch of money for that. Like when we first bought it, we had to do all of it needed completely new plumbing, electrical, like it ate our entire budget that we had for everything else. And so we have just gotten to the point right now that we can start doing some stuff again. Like we are getting a new roof in 2 weeks, and we are getting our siding replaced. Our front porch will be rebuilt or repaired, and then we are also doing our entire interior. So far inside we have only done the bathroom, but we will be doing everything else, like new drywall everywhere else, and new flooring. If we need new ceilings because we had a roof leak, which is why we're getting a new roof. But there's pretty much like every single area in this house is going to be touched. I feel like it's the absolute worst timing because we had stuff scheduled already, and then now we found out that about Odin's lymphoma. So I am kind of worried if have projects going on with construction and Odin's not feeling well, like some of that stuff might need to be rescheduled. Like he's really our main priority. So it's going to depend. I mean, worst case scenario, I can rent like a hotel room for the day and take him out of the house so they can do work. But that is definitely something that I have been working so hard for. And my husband has been working, like he's been working 2 jobs basically, but he's been working 7 days a week, so many hours a day, just really trying to earn as much as he can for all these home repairs, and it's like finally in sight and starting to happen. So I am just super excited about that. So I'll probably be sharing like more photos when I'm not embarrassed about the inside of my house. We did pretty recently redo my studio, my painting room, so I don't know how much I'm going to do in here. I am going to get a new ceiling in here, and then we are probably also, I really want to do like wall-to-wall shelving, so I'll probably do that in some areas. Like I really need all of that storage space. but the main focus is definitely going to be the rest of our house, and we're hoping we can get most of it done this year. Some stuff, like we need to get central heating and air, we won't be doing that until next year, just for financial reasons, but we are doing like the bulk majority this year, so I can't wait to show you guys progress on that if that's something that you are interested also in. Sorry, I keep seeing these little areas where I'm like, oh, that needs a vein right there. All right, I think that is it. Okay guys, so I am so sorry about the super disorganized, like crazy dog noise video. I promise my next video will be not like this one. I mean, you know, the dogs always bark, but it won't be this crazy for sure. I am gonna go ahead and put Pickle in the oven. I'm gonna name this just Pickle 1, and then I'll just number them like that, like I did with Maria. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon for the second part.